Now, I show you the table saw in the last episode, and I only show you it briefly. Now, keep an open mind about this, please. Keep a very big open mind. In fact, you need to keep it so blinking big that the black hole would probably be dwarfed by the amount of open-mindedness you need to have on this. Trust me on this one. If you bust out laughing, my opinion is you ain't got no vision. Okay? This is what I picked up. It was 30 quid on the internet. I gave the guy 40 quid for it because, alright, I'll get on with it. There you go. It's homemade. And I loved it even more on that fact because it was made so well, even though it's so scruffy. Petrol engine driven. I'd still like to remove that and put electric in there. I need to build a guard to go over. I've got to somehow figure out how to do that. The only thing I can think of is to weld onto this, come up with a blade and then put the guard over the top. But I need something to cut thick oak, 1-2 inch thick oak. I've got a thickness of planer, so it don't matter how badly it cuts it, as long as it cuts it. That was all I was interested in. If I have to keep the petrol engine for these few jobs, then I will. I'm not planning on making this a permanent arrangement in my tool collection, because when I can find a proper industrial one, this is as good as gone. But you've got to admire the guy for effort. Really shoddy rubbish welding, but he has tried his hardest to get it right. The engine is semi-locked up. I think the valves are stuck, but I will have to pull that apart. But I know where there's a load of electric motors. I just don't know how many horsepower they are. To push this, really do need a 4 horsepower, and they're quite expensive to buy. So I'm thinking it's not worth spending a great deal of money on, is my thoughts on this. So maybe we can get that engine running and get a guard built in case I trip over something and fall on the blade. Obviously that would be catastrophic, because the truck wouldn't get built, would it now? And you wouldn't get no more videos, for obvious reasons. So yeah, it's rough. It is extremely rough. See, up there is a load of oak all stacked up. That's what's got to be sliced down, all that lot, into strips on top of that little lot here, which sticks out. Right, Monday. Try and get some more ply if I can, so we can fit that little bit of room out with some walls and wallpaper and whatnot. But we have another problem. You see that? And it travels along the roof line a little bit. I'm not sure quite what's going on, but we've got a metal beam there, and if you remember rightly, I was drilling holes. Now I've been on the roof, I've checked. Can't find a hole. So I'm assuming somewhere along there might be a hole in the roof, and the water's coming through that hole, hitting that piece of steel because it's hollow, because it's like a U shape, and it's running down because we're on a hill, you know, we're tipping sideways, and it's coming in down there. That's the only thing I can think of. I'll have to get on that roof tomorrow and have a proper look and see if I can find a hole anywhere. It's only going to be a pinprick hole that will do that. If that ain't the issue, then I don't know what's going on. There's nothing on the walls, no holes in the walls. The only other thing I can think of is it was a cold one last night and condensation. But that's a lot of water for condensation. I haven't got it anywhere else. It's only that wall. A lot of feedback on previous video. I appreciate the feedback. I understand where you're coming from. I start a job and then I don't finish it for you guys on the camera. That could be why I got a thumbs down on my last video I did, because it was literally, well, you've already seen everything else, was what I said, and I saw it very repetitive, and bang, I point up there, and it's like, well, we didn't see you do that. It's probably just as well, because I really did make a hash of it, and I didn't want to show you, truth be known. But that is solid. I'm very pleased, very pleased. You will see that being put together. Pretty much that, and the bit of wall that's got to come out the side of. I've got some experimenting to do as well with colours and stuff on wood, so you've got all of that. But anyway, Monday, got to address that. Got to find out why that's doing it. If I got a little drill hole, which could have caused that, that ain't going to be too difficult. We'll just put a little fiberglass patch over and then put some white paint on it that I've got left over, so we'll resolve that pretty quickly. We'll run the heater, dry it out in here, keep the slide outs shut so there's a little bit more sealed up. So yeah, right, that's all there is now till Monday morning. Right, Sunday, finished the work on the Jeep, so I thought I'd go up on the roof and have a look for this hole. I have no hole. I can't find one. So why am I getting condensation-y stains through that wood? I have no idea. None whatsoever. I don't know if you can see this because there's a light beaming on it, but if you look closely to the grain you will see lots of black in the grain itself. I don't know what has caused that. I do not know if that's from standing outside for years or if that is the natural effect of the wood, or if somebody previously dyed this when it was on a yacht. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. What I do know is I've got to try and match this in the existing wood that I have. Now I did a series of experiments. It didn't come out that great, but that's the whole point of an experiment, is to find out what will and what won't work. So we've got plain wood dye, the same stuff I used on the bulkhead on that one, with varnish over it. On that one we put the dye, no we didn't, we put the red paint on, sanded it back a bit, and put the red dye on top of that. On that one we just did the red paint just to see what would come out, and on that one was red paint and wiped it back. That's what we came up with. Then we did a further experiment on the back. Red paint, sorry, the black dye, but a different brand of dye over the top of that red paint, and that's what we came up with, which then led me to do this. Two dyes on here. We've got the walnut that I made up myself here, and on that one is the other dye that I purchased a little while back. Just sitting in the shed doing that. It's actually oak, and that didn't come out too bad, as you can see against this in low light. Contrasts are almost there, but it's not highlighting the grain. So I then did this. How about that? That is pretty blooming close. The varnish has a natural tint in it anyway. So what we did is we got some black paint, water-based paint, and we just painted it and then we rubbed it off. So all the paint soaked into the wood and soaked into the grain itself. As you can see, the black highlights in the grain, which are very similar to what's going on up there. Then we put the chemical dye on, which is this stuff. Painted that on, allowed it to dry, and then we put yacht varnish, which is this stuff, straight over the top. Varnish is actually still wet, and that, and what I'll do is I'll flash between the two without you seeing both at the same time. You can see it is very, very close. So yeah, I think we've cracked it. I think we nailed it, and that's what I'm going to do to that swing out panel and to the bulkhead on the other side, because that's where the worktop's going to be for her to prep food and all the control switches and everything, and we need all of that to match. Now I've discovered this, I might very well do all of the cupboard fronts in the same effect throughout the whole of the vehicle, and then we'll dark stain the oak doors and fit those, so we've got that old-fashioned dark classic-y feel. That's the best I can come up with. I like that look. I'm not into these trucks that are full of white panels, and I don't even like the white PVC I put on, if I'm honest with you, but we need to get some light in there, and the wallpaper didn't work out first time round. But we will be reapproaching that wallpaper idea again on the slide out that's housing the dinner table. Right, the day is nearly over and I can't see me doing much today. So what I might do, we won't bother doing this side because I've got to slide the slide out and it is raining, and that will come inside the van. So what I might do instead today is shift some of this stuff around and concentrate on getting this wall done. Before I forget, that staining up there is gone. I can't work it out. I've been on the roof, I've checked, there is no leaks, and that is now starting to dry out. So I think it might have been a condensation issue up there. Now that I've got the stuffing in, that's now started to dry out. It wouldn't hurt to put a hole in the roof, the woodwork, stuff some spray glue up there. That will sort that out, but that might pop the roof. That's the only problem, because I did do it over here. Just so you know in advance, I plan to upload this video tonight, and the old batteries are starting to die on the camcorder, so literally at the point that battery dies, that is it. There's no more video for the day. So I'm going to say thank you for subscribing, especially welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you for the thumbs up, and that is the end of the video, which I'll say now. So far so good. Even if I did get it the wrong way round the first time round. There, coffee.